Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World Garage. We're in the garage today, working on the 1988 Ford F-250, 7.3 liter IDI engine. I bought this thing new in 1988. Hilariously, when I bought it from Academy Ford in Laurel, Maryland, we went there and we paid for the truck. Says, well, do you want to pick it up today? Like, no, we're going on vacation. We'll pick it up in 2 weeks when we come back from North Carolina, which is exactly what we did. It's been a relatively reliable truck. Had to put a clutch in it, whatever. It's got some issues here and there, but for the most part, the truck's 100%, and it looks good. And now people say, wow, that's a really cool truck. So to change the diff fluid, it's not real hard. You got to take the pumpkin apart, the back of the cover off that, clean that up, put new fluid in. The hardest part is I went to the Ford dealer, and the Ford dealer didn't have the right oil for it. And I got the minimum wage there, and like, we don't stock it. So I went online and I bought some stuff from AMSOIL, and we'll see how that works out. I've got this on a lift. I didn't want to bore you with getting it set up on a lift because that takes time. It's kind of a pain, but let me lift her up a little bit so I can work on it. Oh my God, there's no spare tire on this truck. What have we here? It's a Leslie RS3L. It's train horns. Isn't that funny? Yeah, I'm a funny guy. Alrighty, Almighty, I've done this exercise before. You take out these bolts, pop the thing off, and you're ready to go. And to fill it, there's a little fill plug on the other side. It's not real hard. I did end up driving it for a few miles just to heat up the oil a little bit. So let me get my drain pan and pop this thing off real quick, at least get it draining. I'll leave the top ones in it because what I want to do is drain the oil out of this thing first. So what I want to do is prevent from having a huge mess and this thing falling all over when I'm not ready for it. So loosen it up and let's open her up and see what she looks like. All right, looks like we're shocking. Alrighty, check that out. She's draining, which is kind of what I was looking for. It's actually hitting the pan. There's a lot of quarts of this stuff in here though. So let me encourage it to speed up a little bit more. You knew that was going to happen. Okay, well, she's coming. I need to get this thing in here again. Oh, fucking. All right, let's try and keep some of the goop off the floor here. There you go. Now we're dripping. Ooh, yuck. Ooh, does that look nice? Maybe I should just bolt it back on. Oil out of it. Didn't make too much of a catastrophic mess. So now I'm going to take a break and let this baby drain out. Alrighty, Almighty. This is done draining, I hope, a little bit. So let's finish taking the cover off and see what she looks like. This will be fun. See if we have any gears in here or not. There's been no problems with it, so I don't think there's any issues at all. But let's, and actually, that came off way better than I expected. Additionally, it will not hurt the metal, so I like that. Best stuff in the world. Sure we have nice clean surfaces. They're nice and shiny. The other side looks good. Good's an understatement, looks great. If you don't have a lift, it's probably easier because I probably spent more time getting this thing on a lift than I did working on it. All right, well, so much for the 60-second gasket maker. It's good stuff, it's expensive. This piece of shit doesn't work. So back to the 90-minute gasket maker. And we'll put some of this on here. And then we'll call it quits. That other thing I had should have worked pretty well. It should have taken about the same amount of time to do, but clearly I failed. The nice thing is this gives me 90 minutes to get it done, which shouldn't be a problem. But at my rate, it'll take 90 minutes to get her back on. Okay, there's a nice bead all around. And now what I'd like to do is put a little bit around each of these holes here, just because it's free. So I checked the torque on these guys. 35 foot-pounds will do it. And like the rest of this truck, these are SAE, these are 5/16 bolts. Okay, nicely done. Alrighty, so here's a tip from Wayne's World Garage. They tell you to be careful putting this thing on because you're gonna screw it up. And they don't want you to mess it up. I kind of get that. So as you can see, I put a couple of 5/16 inch studs in here. And that way I can help line it up before I start smushing it down. So there's, all right, there we go. There you go. All right, now let's put just a couple of these guys on here. So it doesn't come out. So 90 minutes from now is what I've got here to get this all assembled. I think I can do it in 90 minutes. So now, let's torque these bad boys down. Low battery. You gonna work? No. Stand by while I get a new battery. All right, new battery, huh? I'll show you a new battery. Hang on. It's called the old torque wrench. I set it to 20 just to see, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to go nuts here. Alrighty, so now it's time to fill this thing up. I think we'll just stick this thing in here and there we go. Now I need to wait a few minutes here for this thing to be a happy camper, because they say to wait 90 minutes for the right stuff to do its job. So stand by and we're gonna wait 90 minutes. Alrighty, now we're just wrapping this guy up here. I put new batteries on a snap-off torque wrench, and let's torque it down. We already did with the other one, but let's see how close we are. Yeah, it's right on. Yep. We're gonna call this quits. She's torqued down. Let's put some oil in this thing and call it done. I think I should be able to put this up here and hit the poop button. Oh. I like the little squeeze thing on it. That's pretty slick. Just kind of squeeze it in. Oh. Well, that's not a bad little arrangement. I kind of like that. Let me, got most of it out of here. Well, let me get the next bottle. I've learned what I'm doing. I don't know if I've learned, but get better at it. So let's see. Put it in the hole and squeeze it. I've done this before. It's kind of a pain in the neck to get most of the oil in. This I just squeeze it and it comes right out. Wow. Pretty slick. It's fast. Alrighty, here's number 3. They call for 3 point some odd in here. So we'll see what they do. I like the little squeeze container. These guys at AMSOIL were thinking, that's for sure. It gets like 95% of it out right away. So that's cool. One more to do. All right, this is number 4. This should drip it out. Not quite yet. Well, I gotta put it in here till it drips out, that's for sure. Huh. Well, let me now take a look and see how close I am to the top, because this should have done it. This is 1 quart, and that's 4 I put in there. Maybe I'm there now. Alrighty, well, I think this project is about done. We're at the full mark here. So let me put my little plug back in. Another job well done. I don't know about that. There you go. She's done. Rear differential fluid changed. Maybe in another little while I'll do the transmission fluid. I've done that a couple times before. It just takes Mercon. It's important to get the right transmission fluid in it, but it hasn't been that long since I've done it, so it'll probably wait a little while. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, a little bit different. It's Wayne wrenching, and whatever, we do a fair amount of wrenching. Take care, have a great day. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, tell me what a screw up I am. Take care. This is probably the most important part, is putting this little tag on here. So the next man who works in this thing has some clue what axle it is. All right, I have one of these which is arguing with me. Let me snug them down a little bit and see what happens here. We're not going crazy here because we're going to torque them. Just get a little bit of snugness in them. And we see a little bit of material pooping out, which is good. So let me just let it set for a minute, and then we'll get the torque wrench on this guy. So hopefully you can see this. Stand by.